Well, hey, my name is Darren. Welcome to Do Things Make Stuff. Today we're going to be checking out the Scribit, found on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Now here's the deal. The video, the intention was to shoot me from opening the box to getting it drawing on the wall. We had some hiccups and some bumps along the way, so it took a little longer. So if you just want a review and to know my final thoughts, maybe some tips and tricks, fast forward to about 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and that's where this video will continue. If you want to see me from opening the box all the way to getting it running and kind of jumping through some troubleshooting, go ahead and continue watching here. All right, so I'm here with the Scribit and lots of blank walls. So I'm curious to see from the unboxing video where basically everything's just open but nothing's assembled, from that to watching the tutorials to getting something drawing on the wall, how long it's gonna take. It's currently 12:45. Let's see what it takes to actually get this thing up and running. All right, so we got screws up 10 feet apart. That's what we're gonna start with. And now it says to hang the Scribit. Now, one detail, this I found out I thought was the foot to push it off the wall. It's actually the ceramic heating element to erase it using those pens. So I'm gonna unwind these little bow tie clips. Let's hang it up. All right, here we go. It's on the wall. Now I've got to adjust it so it hangs and sits flat against the wall. All right, there we go. It makes it look, the instruction video, like it takes 1 second. How to adjust the two corners a tiny bit so they're flush against the wall. Looks good. After that, it says just plug it in, that's it. So the one thing it did say is the brick that it comes with, the power brick, has to sit flush against the ground. That can't be elevated. So this can't pull the weight of that up. So here we go. We've got a blue light on. The next thing is to load the markers. Now the markers have a line on them, so it says to just depress them until the line. So let's see. Very snug. Let's see about opening the app. Add a new Scribit. Nice to see you. Yes, I did mount it already. All right, we went 10 feet as our width. And we are whiteboard, I guess, is the closest material. Connect your Scribit, did it. Open your Wi-Fi settings, connect your phone to. All right, let's see. There you go. Connect to the Scribit. And the password. So it looks like I'm able to just copy and paste it. Connected. Perfect. Next step, I'm going to put this in. Sorry, it's connecting. I wasn't want to show you all the Wi-Fi passwords and everything where I'm at right now. But it says it's processing, assuming that I typed everything in correctly. Well, it's been 15 minutes and it's still processing. So now I gotta make the tough decision to either force close the app and hope that I can still reconnect, or wait longer. So I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. Let's just force it closed, see what happens. So still connected to its Wi-Fi network. Oops. Open it back up. Well, that's not a great sign. Just finally got something. Connection error. So, let's start over. Uh-oh. Let's unplug it. Let's plug it back in. 30 minutes later. No, I was just trying to record like us getting it done for the first time.
Woohoo!
That was a team effort.
All right, manual calibration.
Was the password wrong? Like the way I typed it in?
What did you put for the network?
Saddleback guest, no spaces, all lowercase?
That's correct. And
Okay.
Church, lowercase.
Yeah.
All right, that looks right?
I don't know. Okay, so there's a manual and an automatic calibration?
Automatic's coming soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool. All right, now I gotta read instructions on how to do a manual because I forgot. It's really simple. I just
Okay.
kind of forgot. So, no, it's okay. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. So,
Can you edit it on there? No, never mind.
hold that. So slot 1 is green, which is no necesito. Print.
Wow. No lo necesito. Just
un papel.
What?
very close.
What was it?
No lo necesito. This is not cool.
It only needs the red, blue, green, and black.
Oh!
What are you trying?
Is it moving? It's alive?
It's alive!
What?
Pretty quiet.
It's so fast.
All right, well, it's another day, and here's where we're at with the Scribit. We've run it 3 times now, and one time we got it to mark the wall, but if you can see, that's green. It's almost impossible to see. You can just barely see it there. It's pressed against the wall, so that's not the issue. I think the green marker just really does not have a lot to it. And then it was a 3 multicolor print, so it was supposed to be red, black, and green. And it did green on the whole time. And then when it came over to one of the other colors, it just did part of what was supposed to be black in green and didn't do the rest. So I put it back to center and am having it do it with one color with just black. So I'm hoping that this works. If not, then we'll maybe restart it again and keep trying. So we're a few hours in. We've been playing around. You can see this is it moving full speed right now. It's not drawing yet. I think it's just moving to the start point. But trying to get this thing figured out. It's been interesting. It's cool. We're really excited to see it work to its full potential, which could be user error. There's also not a ton of instructions. So let's see. If it's supposed to be drawing right now, it's not working again. So this is a little bit of what it's been so far. So this is our experience with the Scribit. We're learning as we go. All right, here we go. I think I got it. I didn't erase the old lines because you can't see them anyways except for up close, but using black, you can see that it took itself in and it's working. All right, so the first draw that you will be able to see is happening. All right, well, overall, I've got to say right off the bat, I love the Scribit. I love the idea of it. It's something that I've been thinking about and working on with a few people for a long time, this kind of vertical plotter, something that I can put on the wall, send a design to, and just let it go and run, whether that's a day or an hour. And this isn't the first thing kind of like this I've bought. I've got an Inventables X-Carve, I've got the Glowforge laser, I've bought a bunch of other things on Kickstarter, and I know when I invested in this 2 years ago that it wasn't going to be a finished product that I was going to receive. It was going to be something that was continuously being updated and edited. And I think the reality is that's exactly what this product is. It hangs on the wall very easily. Let's see, start right off. The presentation is awesome. You open the box, it looks really clean. It's really well done. The unit itself it feels to be very, very well made. I think where we're running into some issues and some things that you'll see if you did watch the full video is I think the software still has some work to do. The calibration and setup still has some things that it kind of needs to work through and figure out, and the ability to load in your own graphics just isn't there yet. So let's start off with the Scribit itself. Like I said, very well made. It installs very easily. I've tried it at 6 feet of width. I've tried it at 13 feet. I've tried it at 10 feet and 7 and 9. I've been playing with it all over to try to figure out how to figure out the best design. Because when you hang it on there, one of the things I noticed is if you put it out at 10 feet, the placement where it's going to draw on the wall is different. And obviously it's scaling the image based on how wide you do it. So if you want it to be higher up on the wall, you can't go too wide because then it's going to drop the image down. So some of the things that we drew on the wall ended up being a foot or two lower than I was hoping that they would be at. And you can't adjust that. It just is set at what it is. The drawings in the app are incredible. There's a lot of really great artwork in there. It all has a similar look and feel. And I think one of the things that I think you have to be aware of is to remember that when you're buying something like this, that it is a line drawing. That being said, when it draws on the walls, a lot of the artwork is very difficult to see. I thought it was going to pop a lot more. We've got big 30-foot long walls that I thought I was going to be able to put art on and continuously be changing all the time. And I can, but it doesn't fill up the space as I had hoped or intended that it would. It looks really good, but it doesn't fill the space. So I ended up hanging more pictures on the wall to kind of help give some dimension, a little bit more color. Because one of the areas that I think the Scribit's really lacking is with the pens. The pens are a great idea. The fact that they're marked on there, you can put them in, they draw on the wall, and then using the ceramic heater on the base of the Scribit, they can erase themselves. But the color that comes out of the pens is weak. It's just not bright. The red is almost useless. The green is completely useless. And the blue and the black are okay. They're just not very strong, thick, bold lines. What I ended up doing instead is switching over to Crayola, has their ultra washable wall markers, and they're twice as bright. So here's a video while it's drawing right now. So you can see in real speed, that's about as fast as it goes. Keep trying their drawings. This one is really cool, but I'm actually not using their markers. These are the Crayola Ultra Washable markers, and they just seem to come out a little bit brighter than the markers that come from Scribit. Also, they don't really erase. I can't really show you because you can't see it, but it's more like the pigment disappears. So there's still a sheen difference where it actually drew on the wall. So I'm trying these because the ultra washable markers are made to be drawn on walls. And with a little bit of spray bottle and the rag, you can just wipe the drawings right off, which is very removable. The pens that you use, the ceramic heater is really slow. We ended up using a blow dryer because it was faster, and the reality is it still leaves marks on the wall. The color tends to dissipate after we kind of went over it a couple of times, but then there's a sheen difference. So at the right angle, you kind of still see the drawing that just got erased. So again, great idea. The fact that you can put it up there and set it and it erases it and draws again. But again, if you want something that's on a wall that's like completely gone, like it wasn't there, this might not be it. And I don't want to say that they didn't do a great job because these are a really incredible piece of tech. But the markers, I think there's better options than what they're offering. So if you just want some cheap Crayola ultra washable markers, they're easy to find. You put them on the wall, let it run, do its thing, put the cap back on. The Scribit itself, like I said, is very, very well made. It hangs up on the wall. It works really well. There's some things that I've noticed that I think will get developed over time. What I've noticed with my Glowforge, for instance, is they're continuously updating the software, and there's a team working constantly, and there's always updates, there's always changes. When there's something that's not right, there's a user forum for people to go in and submit things, and at least the Dan, or the guy who's the owner or project manager, whatever, is on there interacting with users. Scribit doesn't have that. So my fear is that maybe they're not getting the feedback that they should be getting, which is kind of why I'm posting this video. I'm hoping somebody will watch it because there's a lot of great feedback that I think they're missing out on. And I think they know some of them. When you hang the 2 points on the wall and then you put the Scribit down, there's an automatic calibration gray button that you can't push yet. My assumption is you'll be able to manually, or you'll be able to move the Scribit with your phone across its axis. Right now, the way it works is you hang a nail in the corner, you drop the tape that comes with it down, fold it over, and then it comes out this way, and you mark the wall, and that's your start point. And then you have to manually turn the stepper motors on the Scribit to get it down to that point. And it's slow and it's not easy to turn, and it almost feels like you could break it, which I know the way that those motors kind of work, and they don't break that easily. It just is the feeling. It just feels not totally correct. So it would be great if it had a way to do that a little simpler, which I think that is something that they will be developing. The other part of it is when you put it on the wall and you have to do a calibration, it says you only need to do that the first time you put it on the wall. But what I've noticed is it doesn't work quite right unless I do the calibration before every time it draws. Now the calibration takes seconds, so it's not that it's a big deal, it's just something I think you have to be aware of. And part of the calibration is the wheel in the center that holds the 4 different pens. You have to put that in the correct orientation before you start the calibration, and then it will rearrange itself. So they're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, the pen holder locations, and you have to put number 4 at the top. And if you don't do that and you run the calibration, it doesn't seem like it indexes itself. I don't think it knows where the pens are. So I noticed when I didn't do that properly, that is potentially when the Scribit didn't draw on the wall. There are times when we ran the Scribit and it just did one color, or it skipped a color, or it did the wrong color. And I think that was because it didn't know the orientation of that piece before we started the drawing. I will say people have loved seeing this thing work. We leave it on the wall and let it just do its thing. A drawing does take a couple hours depending on the intricacy, but expect a drawing to be 2 hours probably on average. And it's fun. It's fun to see it. It moves really slow, so it's kind of like this picture slowly evolves over time. And it's been really neat to get interactions with people as they're seeing it happen. And I have some big dreams for it to continue, but I think some of this software development needs to continue happening before this thing is really ready to do what I think they want it to do. Within the app, I think the app is great. Like I said, it's really easy to navigate. It's very easy to use. I had some issues setting up software, but I will say for their tech support team, I sent an email in and got a response the next day. And considering they're on almost the other side of the globe and totally different time zone, that was great. The fact that they were able to respond so quickly, I actually solved it myself before they responded to me. But hey, just the fact they responded that quickly just shows me there's a team just waiting for feedback and waiting to kind of continue to work and help users. So I really appreciated that. The app has 2 features where you can upload your own graphic text, or you can take a photo or upload your own images. The photo one, where you're supposed to be able to take a selfie, there's some little instructions and things, but it just didn't work. I tried it with clean photos with nothing in the background, white backgrounds, or very subtle backgrounds. I tried really simple pictures and intricate pictures, and I just couldn't get any of them to render a drawing that was usable. So I would say that feature right now is not usable. Not saying that that's something that they won't work on. I think what it's missing is something like in Illustrator when you do a line drawing, or when you have to convert a text to a vector, or convert a shape to a vector, how you have a threshold that you could adjust. I think they need to add a threshold so that you can manually adjust it. And I would assume that that's something that will be coming in the future. The other thing is we did do the text where you could type in your own text and add that to the wall. The problem is it draws it at a very specific size and it turns it into a line drawing, of course. It just disappeared on the wall. So I just didn't feel like it was really something that we're able to use quite yet. The next thing I want to try in the next few days is to use a chalkboard pen on a chalkboard and see how that works. Because the text potentially would work on something like that, but when you're just drawing on a white wall with a black pen, it just, I don't know, it just didn't really work. You can't type a ton of text or else it started getting messy, and the editor is really just type text on a line. There's not much you can do with it as far as spacing and doing some design with it. It's just text. So I think that was something that they'll probably continue to develop and work on. I tried creating an image on Illustrator, a very simple line drawing, and then uploaded it to their app. And again, the same thing. When it rendered it, it just botched it. It just was wrong. It didn't even really look like the image. Part of it was just straight text, and it didn't even translate that correctly. So I think that's the threshold thing that they're gonna need to figure out over time. So those are most of my thoughts on the Scribit. There's little things where we've probably run it 20 times now, maybe. That might be an exaggeration. 15? We've run it quite a bit. And we're going to continue to try to figure things out and learn little tips and tricks. So maybe I'll have another update video here after 6 months of using it. But I gotta say, the tech is really neat. The packaging is great. They did a great job on the design, the look, the functionality. I've done, like I said, other Kickstarter, Indiegogo projects. Sometimes you get something and it's awesome, sometimes it's not. And so far, this is awesome. I think they just have a lot of software things to continue to work out. So overall, Scribit is great for the price. It's a great tool for a very specific thing if that's what you want. If you're hoping to get this large, giant, bright, crisp drawing on a wall, they're just not there yet. So I would love to answer any questions if you have any. If you have a specific drawing or something you want me to test out for you, feel free to send that on over. If I have time, I would love to run those for you and see what it looks like. But I'm loving this thing. We're playing with it. We've got a lot more drawing and just playing to do. So that's what I got. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any questions, again, put them in the comment section below. If you like this video and want to see more just random things of building or testing or reviewing, go ahead and subscribe to Do Things, Make Stuff. My name is Darren. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back for the next video.